There's early games on Saturday, so let's preview them, get ready for them, stream them in, Michael Bolton them, I guess.
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy, your daily NBA fantasy podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Josh Lloyd, and if you listen to anything that I say, I'm going to tell the commissioner of your league, and he's going to reverse any move that you make. I'm also the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com, and today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. Thank you also for making Locked On Fantasy Basketball your first listen every day. We are free. And we are, of course, available on all platforms. We're looking ahead to Saturday in the NBA, where we do have early games for a reason. I'm sure you'll give me some idea of what the actual reason is. Halloween, is it maybe? I don't know. I'm dressed in my Halloween costume, grumpy old prick, and it's uncanny how it looks. Let's, what time are these actual games? And I always get confused because I know that there is going to be, no, I don't think it's this day, I think it's the day after, where you get your daylight savings ending, but 5 p.m. start, 4 p.m. Central in Milwaukee. Then you got another random 5 p.m. Eastern game. No, a 6 p.m. Eastern game, and then 7 p.m. Eastern game. So absolutely no idea what is like going on with that. So we'll see where that takes us, or why, not where it takes us, just be aware of it. Just buddy, be prepared, because you're going to have early games and you're going to have to set your lineups in advance. Let's just start with some of the big storylines that I am paying attention to across the day on Saturday. And we did actually just get some injury news come across. One of them was on the Bronco Jalen Williams, who underwent a second procedure to remove a screw that was causing irritation in his wrist. He'll be reevaluated in 10 to 14 days. He was someone that I faded because I was very confident through information that I had that he was not going to be available until middle of November. Probably at least, and that is literally where we're at. So it'll be fine when he's back, but that's where we're at. The other one that popped up is LaMelo Ball just popped up on the injury report for the weekend. Now, that is a back-to-back. He has the ankle issue, obviously, and the ongoing concerns with his ankle, and that they list him on these back-to-backs. This is not, from what I understand, any sort of new injury or anything that's concerning in that regard, but it is a back-to-back for them. He played their last back-to-back, so all systems go, I hope. So let's take a look at the three big storylines for Saturday. I think it is important to watch Bilal game 2. People got really upset at me saying that Bilal, this might be the best game he has for the season. No, I'm not writing him off. No, I know that he's 21 and he might improve. But also, I just don't think he's that good. I don't think he's that level of player that's going to demand 27 usage with those defensive stats. If you do, that's okay. I don't. And we'll see where it goes. But we want to watch it. We're always wanting to watch interesting things like that. I also want to watch the Dallas Guards. I do want to watch the Dallas Bigs. They're in for a game in Mexico City, by the way. We sort of got the idea that their Bigs are not playing. But what happens? We know that Clay is not going to do much, but what about Brandon Williams? What about D'Angelo Russell? How are they going to distribute those minutes? What about Max Christie? Is there anything there to pay attention to? And then, of course, Ryan Rollins. Kevin Porter is going to be out. We don't know about Yanni at this point. I expect that Rollins is going to be great again, but will he steal our hearts with another high usage game? Will he steal our hearts with another high efficiency game? Where can he fit in? Now, someone brought up multiple good points in things that I was talking about with him and saying it's possible that he starts next to Kevin Porter. It is. Part of the idea of Glenn Rivers this season, though, has been wanting to get elite shooting around Giannis. That's why he's got Gary Trent, Miles Turner at the 5, and AJ Green. So obviously, if Porter and Rollins were to start together, that would mean Green or Trent would come off the bench. And in terms of spacing and shooting, they're obviously way, way better than Kevin Porter. The obvious thing to me is Porter goes to the bench. But I don't know. I don't know what they do. But it is possible on those other guys. It is also worth it, and I don't think this is the case, by the way. Every year, we always have the one player that pops off the waiver wire due to injury and the people that grabbed him do their wish casting. Let's call it the Memorial Omer Yurtseven Award. When Bam comes back, they'll just play together. Cool. Yurtseven played 5 minutes total after that. Bol. He's that good, man. They're just going to get him on the court. He's way better than everyone else. Okay. Done. Out of the league. I don't think that'll be Rollins, but there will be a player that is that. And sometimes when we have to also understand that when we grab players and we consider sell highs or whatever, is that trying to manipulate, warp reality in order for your guy that you added to maintain the same production isn't always realistic. It can be. It can happen. And again, I don't think this is Rollins. But let's just bench anybody else so that he gets to start is something that we just have to be cautious of over indexing our feelings on it, I guess. I hope that makes sense. Let's do a bit of a key injury update here. One of these will be LaMelo Ball, but that news just came out. What other injuries are we watching for? Well, Anthony Davis is doubtful. Derek Lively allegedly did not make the trip to Mexico City, so it's Gafford. Because if Gafford doesn't play, are we Dwight Powelling? We literally might have to. There's nobody else. If Yanni is out, Kuzma's going to get the minutes. Now, is Kuzma good? Of course he isn't, but 33 minutes of Kuzma getting some opportunities will make him streamable. And then, this is an interesting one, Jalen Clark. Now, you might think, why do I care about Jalen Clark? Because it impacts a lot of guys. And we're going to talk at length. We're going to highlight guys like Mike Conley and even Donte DiVincenzo. These guards who are taking up the slack in Minnesota with Anthony Edwards out. But if Clark plays and gets 17 minutes, then it can impact Conley. It can impact Dillingham. It can impact Shannon. It can impact Highland. There's a lot of different ways it goes because he's just this interesting piece that Finch likes to play 18 minutes or 17 minutes to as a defensive guy coming off the bench. And those sort of guys don't have necessarily impacts on their own, but they have impacts on others. Let's take a look at what the games actually are on Saturday. Like I mentioned, early game, or 2 early games, which is not the norm. Kings and Bucks, Wolves and Hornets, Magic and Wizards, Warriors, Pacers, Rockets, Celtics, and the last game is that Mexico game, Mavericks and Pistons. Go through the games individually here to see what stuff we can look at. Kings and Bucks, Nick Clifford's going to be out, Kevin Porter's going to be out, Keegan Murray's going to be out, and Yanni is... I've got him questionable. We don't have an official status on Giannis. I do think that he will play, but obviously he was probable last game and then didn't. So we just don't know. The next game that we get into here, it is... What is it? Timberwolves Hornets. Again, the Jalen Clark one is important, and just chuck LaMelo Ball onto that list because he now is listed questionable with his ankle concern. The next one up, we're going to Orlando and Washington. The Battle of the Mysticals. Malachi Brown, look, honestly, don't worry about any of that. The one you want to worry about there is Jalen Suggs returning. He sat the last game. That meant that Mr. Black was the starter and putting up good numbers. I'll put my camera up there on the screen for you guys. The next one we're talking about is the Golden State Warriors and the Indiana Pacers. Now, this is a back-to-back for the Pacers, and we'll get more information about them on Friday. But we're expecting Cam Jones, Benedict Mathurin, TJ McConnell, Andrew Nembhard to be out. We've got to check on the Dildo Johnny Furphy and Talon Peter. The Warriors shouldn't be any concerns with any of their guys. We know that D'Anthony Melton is going to be sidelined, though. The next one is another team on a back-to-back. It's Houston and Boston, the Celtics, coming in after whatever happens with Josh Minott on Friday. Dorian Finney-Smith will remain out for the Rockets, and then the final game of the day is that Mexico game, Dallas against Detroit. I was going to say in Detroit, but they're in Mexico. Davis is doubtful. Lively, again, I'll update that to doubtful. He's not there in Mexico, so don't think he's playing. Gafford is going to be the big question mark, because if he plays, he'll probably have to start, but is he ready to play big minutes? Or is it just going to be all Dwight Powell all the time, which is, of course, the only thing that we realistically want in our lives. We'll come back and talk schedule hacks, and then we'll talk streaming. Today's episode, though, it is brought to you by Robinhood. Your ambition just met its match. With Robinhood, you play for the win, not just on game day, but every day. Locking in on every opening, beating your PR and beating it again. You can channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control of your money, trading stocks and ETFs, options and futures and crypto, all on one platform. Now you can build and execute your own trades from a desktop with Robinhood Legends advanced tools, or take advantage of new Robinhood strategies with a tailored portfolio managed by a team of experts. You expect more from yourself, so expect more from your money. Get started today at robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that is robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. Today's episode is also brought to you by DoorDash. The NBA season is heating up. The NBA Cup is starting on Friday. And DoorDash has the perfect way to keep you in your bag all season long. DoorDash makes every game night even better. DoorDash is the official on-demand delivery platform of the NBA, and they're celebrating with something called the Bag Drop. Every time an NBA player scores 50 points in a game, DoorDash drops 50% off your order with Dash Pass the next day. So you automatically get entered into a competition for a chance to win the ultimate fan bag. DoorDash has you covered for late night highlights, last minute watch parties, and double OT fuel ups. So next time someone goes off for 50, use the promo code NBA50 the next day to get 50% off on DoorDash with Dash Pass. Plus, your shot at the bag drop. Dash Pass members only 50% off up to $10 the day after a 50-point game with promo code. Terms apply. No purchase necessary. Ends April 13th. Open to US residents 21 or older. Visit DoorDashinyourbag.com for full details. DoorDash in your bag all season long. All right, so we are here previewing the action on Saturday where we've got those early games. Again, be aware, be ready to prepare for that, I guess. Let's talk about the schedule. Let's have a look at how that plays out. And we'll start by looking at the way that the back-to-backs set up. Like I said, there's not that many as we did in the week 2 preview. There's not that many here at the end of the week. 2 teams head into Saturday on a back-to-back. Celtics and Pacers. So they're both playing Friday. Now they play Saturday. I don't think it's going to impact many players on Indiana or on Boston, for honest. Although, watch Jalen Brown with a hamstring. And then the Hornets got the Saturday, Sunday with LaMelo Ball popping up as questionable on Saturday with the ankle. He did play their last back-to-back. So we just keep an eye to see what they're going to do there. And if he is out, Sexton, Knipple, and then a big Trey Mann bump in that particular situation. And Sion James also will be able to maintain good value. In terms of other schedule stuff, if you go chunky, there is over the next 5 days, 4 of the days are streaming days. Wednesday is not. So some of these teams, Milwaukee and Charlotte, play 3 games in the next 4 nights. So Moussa Diabate, Cole Anthony, Trey Mann, Big Boom, AJ Green. 3 games, 4 nights, all streamable. So if you're on the fence about Ryan Rollins, I don't know why you would be. If you are on the fence about the big cock, Ryan Cockbrenner, don't know why you would be. Knipple, Sexton, all these guys, 3 games, 4 nights, a nice little stream pocket coming up for these players that you can take advantage of. I haven't included Rollins and Cockbrenner on this list because their roster percentage is very, very high on our advanced tracker. But on Yahoo, it's still low because, I don't know, people have got their fingers into spots they shouldn't have, and that's what they're busy focusing their attention onto. If we look at 5s and 2s over the next 7 days, who's got a strong one, who's got a weak one? Well, it's the Blazers. Starting on Saturday through to next Friday, the Blazers play 2 games. That doesn't really do a huge amount. Like, I guess if you were considering, what do I do with Jeremy Grant? Is he a priority ad? With 2 games in 7 nights, probably not then. Is he worth me holding? Like, he's been good, but does it hold? Probably not. I would hold Shaden Sharp through it. But otherwise, I don't think there's a lot of utility in making many decisions based on that individual schedule part there. So let's have a look at streams of the day. Who are the best options with these games? And obviously, things can change when we get updated injury information. But at the moment, let's take a look. The 10-team streamer is Mr. Black, who has been really good. And even last time that Suggs played, he still got 27 minutes. They are prioritizing Black instead of Tyus Jones. And Suggs is still going to be limited minutes-wise, I'm pretty sure, for at least the foreseeable future. So Black is at least worth considering as a guy here. For 12-teamers, well, his teammate, Goga Bitadze. Is he great? Has he got high upside? Not really. The upside comes, I guess, if Wendell gets into foul trouble. But also, you can just get 6 and 7 with 1 to 2 blocks in 17 minutes. Is that useful? I guess, yeah. Yeah, it is. Now, other things can change here. Like Dwight Powell might become an elite streamer because a bunch of guys are out in Dallas. Maybe Brandon Williams really does get a big role. 14 team, I'm going Mike Conley. And I might as well talk about Conley right now in this part of the show, because I did prepare something a little bit on him for us to take a look at. He is the short-term starter with Anthony Edwards out, and the numbers that I've got on the screen are his averages over the last 2 games, which have both been starts. He's played 27 minutes. He was playing 13 minutes off the bench. He's averaging 9.5 points, 3.5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 1.5 blocks. Now, the 1.5 blocks, what a great bonus. Absolutely fake. Ignore it. But 9.5, 3.5, and 5 with 2 steals in 27 minutes, why can't he? Why can't Mike Conley deliver you that? Which in 14-team leagues is absolutely worth it. Like, it's 100% worth it for the short term. But he's like rostered nowhere. And I think, obviously, he's clearly unk, but can we not go a little bit get a little bit more interested in those sort of numbers? Because they are pretty good. They are pretty good. I'm going to come back and talk more detailed streaming stuff in just a sec. Today's episode, though, it is brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you miss the start of a game in the NBA, or you want to come in and ride the hot hand of something you see transpiring during the action, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who'll score next to fourth quarter comebacks. You can combine your live bets as well into a same game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout. It makes you put your knowledge to the test. Read the game, read what's happening, and see what you can do. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA, and don't forget to gamble responsibly. We are talking streaming, and we've gone through the streams of the day now, so let's go through a little bit more detail, so other names for different league styles, sizes, types, that sort of thing. The more 10-team names, again, just always peruse this list first, no matter your league size, and see if it makes sense. Mr. Black is there. Wow, that was just horrific. Me meaning to say Anthony Black, but saying Mr. Black, but not doing the voice. Forgive me, please. Mr. Black, Goga Bitadze, the Dart, the Flamin' Galah, Isaiah Stewart, Michael Conley, and then Keon Ellis, who's getting 25 minutes or so off the bench at the moment in Sacramento, and nobody's suggesting any players are coming back. So Ellis should be able to maintain at least that role as much as we would like more from it. The 12-team streaming list: Moussa Diabate, Ben Shepherd, reluctantly, home camcorder enthusiast, those of you on ESPN, Ray J. Dennis, is now available. Now, I believe that Ray J cannot be picked up for Friday. He has got other commitments. But for Saturday, he should clear waivers and be available for you to add, because this is how dumb these idiots are. We are 2 weeks into the season, and a player that debuted last season is now just available. Now that they finally added him, you can't even add him anyway. You got to wait till he passes through a waiver process. So anyway, Ray J. Dennis will be a good option. Cole Anthony, and so will Al Horford. Even though Horford is limited, we're limited in the options that are available to us to stream with a 6-game slate on, and the overall waiver stream options for this day are not particularly strong, outside of Trey Mann bumping up if Ball is out. Dwight Powell and Brandon Williams may be becoming options if we get further guys out in Dallas. Deep league category guys: Josh Okogie is probably going to start again for Houston. Modi Muzi in Golden State. The minutes were down, so I'm a little concerned about what foreseeable future legend Stephen Kerr is going to do with the playing time there, but we can look at Moody as somewhat of a stream guy, even though there is risk. There's Max Christie there. Throw Brandon Williams onto that list too. You got Tony Bradley, but you can also put Jay Huff into that mix too. It's just the Indiana big men, you just don't know what's going to happen. And then Najee Marshall in Dallas as well. Let's talk Yahoo points streaming options. I am going to include this guy. Normally I'm going to do a 35% cutoff for the Yahoo points stream, but Donte DiVincenzo sits at 37. It's just too low. So I've put Donte DiVincenzo there as a streamer. I realize on the streams of the day, I didn't actually go in and tell you who the points league stream of the day was. Well, that's fine. We'll get to it. Donte is only averaging 25 fantasy points per game. That's not very good, obviously. I've got him projected for 34, and here's why. A, no Anthony Edwards. B, it's against Charlotte, and they are a high-paced team who does have poor defense at times. So I'm expecting a spike from Donte. He has played over 30 minutes in 2 of the last 3 games as well. Now, he is a low usage guy. Hasn't got over 20% usage yet. There is going to be a game where that spikes. So even though the production hasn't been good, 25 fantasy points. I think he goes over 30 here pretty easily. That's why I've got him as a stream of the day and why I did want to focus on what DiVincenzo can bring. Wendell Carter is a very good Yahoo point stream. Jarace Walker, hello, in Indiana. I expect that he starts and puts up good numbers, and he's worth grabbing in most formats at this point. Aaron Nesmith is someone who's been obviously shooting horribly, but I do believe that we give that another opportunity. And then Russell Westbrook in Sacramento can be considered a stream guy as well. And then for ESPN points, Wendell Carter Jr. sits up the top there along with Jarace Walker, Aaron Nesmith, Josh Minott, who is unbelievably at 21% on ESPN. Guys, wake up. Wake up. And then, similarly, the big cock, Ryan Cockbrenner, elite ads. Now, these guys, Walker, Carter, Minott, Cockbrenner, all sit under 35% rostered on ESPN. All are must-roster guys across the board. But I'm highlighting them as stream guys because they're just there, right? But they are just must-roster players right across the board. And speaking of across the board, which I was, but now I'm not, that's me crossing the board of the end of the show. That is the end of a preview for Saturday. We'll have a week 3 preview show going up tomorrow. I look forward to being a part of that with you. Subscribe, thumb up, double bang, comment, hype. All that stuff is very, very much appreciated. Guys, we are done here. Thank you so much for listening, everyone.